Hey, how's it going? John from Branson Cerakote and Laser here. Today's video is going to be on the top 5 reasons to not become a Cerakote applicator. So one of the common things that we run into that's going to be our number one is that people think that they're going to get into this business, they're going to make a ton of money really quick, and they're going to be able to quit their job. It's not like that at all. There are a lot of applicators out there. The majority of people that get into this start as a side gig. They're working a regular job and they do it in the evenings or on the weekends. That's how you build your business up, but there's nothing quick about it. We were in a really unique position of being able to just do this full time from day one because I had a retirement. I didn't need this to put food on the table. I wasn't working another job. So we were able to just really buy equipment, jump right in. Even with that advantage, it took about 2 years to really build up a client base and really get the business to the point where we weren't putting any of our income into the business. The business was pretty much self-sustaining. So it's one of those things where if you think you're going to dive into this and make a bunch of money right off the bat, it's just really not going to happen. So number 2, a reason why you shouldn't become an applicator is to kind of build up your own gun collection. It's really not a cost-effective way to do that. You do get some, retail advantages and, wholesale accounts and things like that from, getting into Cerakote because you have an FFL. You're required to have an FFL to Cerakote, so that allows you to open some accounts. Some of the bigger distributors are not going to, cut you much of a break on price, and some of them aren't going to give you accounts at all if you're home based. So that's something to absolutely keep in mind and to research a little bit before you start. But you're going to be taking all of that money you make in the beginning, or at least should, and rolling that back into your business. It's not like you're going to be able to just go out and start buying all these Barretts and really cool guns right off the bat. So a really common mistake and a kind of the number 3 on this that we see, and we talked to a lot of people in training about this, and it's something that it's kind of doable, but it's really not. Is that people think, well, I'm going to start Cerakoting. I won't worry about customers. I'll just buy a bunch of guns. I'll Cerakote them and I'll sell them and make a bunch of money. That's another one of those that's just not going to happen, because what we found, and we were the same way when we started, what we found was you would buy this rifle or build a rifle, whatever, and you'd coat it and take it to a gun show, and you'd have people walk up and go, man, that's the coolest gun I've ever seen. I'd love to buy this if it had this barrel or this trigger or this stock. So the problem with like building guns and coating them, customizing them just to sell them is you've got to put that gun in front of the customer that's looking for exactly the configuration of gun that you put together in order to sell the thing. And even then, your average customer, if it's customized with, a better trigger and a better barrel and bolt and things like that, they're going to put the value in those added, items that you put into it to upgrade it versus putting the money, their thoughts into the money that was added to it by Cerakoting it. So, it's really one of those things where what we found is you're much better off just building up a customer base and, kind of slash and burn it. Guns come in, they get coated, they go back out, and that's how you make your money. We do have some guns, and we occasionally sell guns at gun shows because, we've got display guns that we've bought and coated. We got a good deal. There was a special going on or something. We bought it, coated it, and it sits on the table. And we normally, we'll have people come up and ask, are these for sale or whatever? And we always tell them, yeah, they are, but the prices are probably, a little higher than what you think. But we've had people that you throw an outrageous number on them and, they just don't even blink and they want to go ahead and buy it. So that's the point that we'll sell guns like that. Those are people that are more of it doesn't matter what barrel, it doesn't matter what trigger, they just like the way the gun looks. And I think that's, kind of one of those things where they just want to own that particular look more than a particular bolt or barrel or anything like that. So probably one of the biggest mistakes, and I see this argument on Facebook a lot, and number 4 on why you wouldn't want to become an applicator is to do it cheaper than everyone else and make a fortune. You've got to charge what the Cerakote is worth. It's a lot more than just the coating. It's a lot more than even just electricity and things like that. The only thing you really have to bill for is your time. Once you've covered your expenses, the money that you're going to make for, making a living or making a profit is what you're going to be able to bill for your skill and your time. So if you come in and right from the very beginning, you've set your prices really low to undercut everybody thinking that's going to get you a lot of business, it does a couple of things. One, the people who are looking to get quality work done are kind of looking at you going, there's a reason why your prices are lower. I think I'm going to go with someone that's a little more average to the industry because there's a reason why your prices are low. And they're automatically going to start thinking, well, you're doing not as good of a job, or you're putting out a lesser product. The other reason why you don't want to go lower prices is you're not going to have that money. You're not going to make enough money quickly enough to upgrade your equipment and become better at it and more proficient and build that customer base. If you're sandblasting with a Harbor Freight cabinet, there's nothing wrong with that. But, if somebody, your golden customer, walks in with a $1,500 Barrett job and you can't sand it, you've lost that business. And that guy's not going to come back. And he's going to tell people when they ask him, oh, hey, when he eventually does get it coated somewhere else, hey, where'd you get that done at? He's not going to tell them about you. He's going to tell them about somebody else. So investing back in your business and building up your equipment and getting better at everything, that's way more important than kind of, charging lower so that you can get more volume. It really just doesn't work that way. Most of the bigger shops, and I'd kind of put us in that category, have about a 6 to 8 week lead time. Because you've just got that much business, lined up. So we didn't get that way because we, slashed our prices and went lower than everybody else or ran gimmicks and things like that. So the coding and the your time has a value. That's what you need to charge. So it's, if you look around the internet, it's pretty standard across the board. So number 5 is going to be, getting into this and buying all this equipment to save money on doing your own guns. That's a really cost inefficient way to get into Cerakote. The issue with that is that all this equipment costs a ton of money, and to do it correctly you've got to have the correct equipment. And then the other issue is that if you're doing it with some kind of bargain basement equipment, or you're not doing it that often, I mean, honestly, the product's just not going to be that good. So you've got to kind of build this slowly, get better at it and things like that, build your equipment up. That's really cost inefficient to do your own stuff. We do our own projects, probably 1 or 2 a month when we have some time, or if it's, we're spraying a customer project and one of our personal guns, we're like, oh, I want to do something with those colors or whatever. We'll sand ours down and throw it in there, do it all at the same time. But it's really, when you get busy, it's really hard to find the time to, I guess, get motivated to do your own stuff. So that's just a really inefficient way to do your own stuff. I'm going to throw a bonus one in here because I couldn't decide whether to take one of the other ones out and put this in, or just not put this one in at all. So I'll just make it as a bonus number 6. A big thing that we hear a lot is, I just want to be my own boss. There is a lot to be said for that. However, if you're not prepared for all the PITA stuff that goes along with that, it can be overwhelming, and your business can fail really, really quickly. So, being your own boss is great, but it's also, there's nobody to lean back on and go, hey, we need this, or this broke and needs to be fixed, or hey, we had a really cold month and the heat ran a lot and the power bill is this. That's you now. You don't have to worry about, wow, that's somebody else's problem. I just work here. So, you've got to grow, but you've got to grow smartly and, kind of leave yourself a reserve and things like that. So, if your thought is, I'm just going to dive in, I'm going to be my own boss, I won't have to answer to anybody. It's a whole different world. So that's our list. Hopefully it, kind of helps some people and gives you some stuff to think about, if nothing else. If you have any questions about it, leave us a comment down below or give us a call or an email. We'll be happy to talk to you about it. If you've thought of one that we didn't have on the list, leave that in the comments down below also, and we'll have a little conversation about it. So as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Check us out at BransonCerakote.com for all your laser, stencil, and Cerakote needs. Have a great day.